my Abrahamic brothers and sisters, Salam Alaikum, Shalom Alaikum. Peace be on all of you. I stand here today to provide inspiration for all of you that there are people that will stand up for what is right, what is moral, and what is just in my community too. It's not been easy for me. It's been a very tough road, but I wasn't going to sit in silence. Now I stand before you not as a lone voice, but as a part of a growing movement of moral clarity and courage. When I first stood up publicly for Israel and the Jewish people, I was reminded of a haunting picture from history, one you may have seen. In a sea of salutes in 1936 to Hitler, Nazi Germany, one man stood there with his arms crossed, refusing to join the wave of blind obedience. His name was August Landmesser. He chose conscience over conformity, love over hate, truth over terror. That image stayed with me, because in my own way, I have felt what it means to stand alone in a sea of silence, especially as a woman. The first time, it was 9/11, when I stood up against Al-Qaeda and built an organization to counter the Islamism and build resiliency in the Muslim community. And then the second time was when I stood at the March for Israel, the rally in Washington, D.C. after October 7th, and I proclaimed, Am Israel Chai. But of course, I knew there would be a lot of backlash, and of course there was. Harassment, fatwas, which are death threats, intimidation, even excommunication from my own community. But like Landmesser, who was willing to sacrifice his freedom, I knew that the cost of silence was far greater than the cost of speaking out. Because today, we're facing a major issue. Yes, anti-Semitism. And that is why the work that we are doing at AMWEC is more critical than ever. As you know, the cancer is growing. But how do we combat it? After October 7th, I lost half my board members. They resigned. But I resolved to rebuild that organization with authentic, resilient voices. Women leaders who stood up firmly to hate and anti-Semitism. My women's organization that started the first Muslim women's civil rights movement in America now empowers Muslim leaders, men and women, who fight anti-Semitism and hate. The goal is to create not one Landmesser, but thousands who will stand up. Jewish or not, stand up for humanity, stand up against rape being used as a weapon of war. Speak up against brutality and the murder of babies like Kafir and Ariel. And that's why today I say to you, Am Israel Chai. We need a light in that region that will become a light for nations throughout the world who will stand together against terror. So let me show you how we're creating bridges between the Muslim world and the Jewish world. Well, we're doing it by creating more Landmessers. The tide, my friends, is turning. Muslims and Jews, Abrahamic and other faith leaders, and truth seekers are coming together. Not just in word, but in action. And how, you may ask? They have realized over time that the cancer of anti-Semitism morphs into various forms of hate, including Islamophobia. And now they have understood. Many of them are rejecting it. Might I remind you of that young 22-year-old Gazan, the young man, Odai Nasser Saadi, who stood against it. He got up against Hamas and sacrificed his own life for truth and freedom. But yes, like the pastor was saying, the silence that we felt after October 7th, I can tell you, is dissipating. Your pain is our pain. Your fight is our fight too. After 9/11, I recall the time my rabbi brothers from New York called me and said, let me tell all the Muslims, we will make a human shield around you and we will protect you in the midst of the calls for an Islamic Muslim ban. We can't forget who stood with us. Jewish people and their commitment to the marginalized and the impoverished is evident. Jewish Americans, we know, have long stood at the forefront of philanthropy and education in the US, founding some of the nation's most impactful charitable institutions, championing civil rights, women's rights, and building universities and hospitals that serve everybody. It was from this proud tradition that my Jewish sister emerged, Dr. Gwen Hecht, a woman of deep compassion and vision who traveled with me to Pakistan, where together we built schools in the middle of the desert of Thalbakar, a region where people did not have access to basic education. The village elders welcomed her with open arms, and they said, you are a sister, you are a child of Musa alayhi salam, Moses, and you are Ahle Kitab, people of the